woman undresses and prepares to take a shower, but when she left, the man in the mirror didn't move. The woman didn't notice that the man in the mirror was staring at her. The next moment, something horrible happened. The man in the mirror opens his mouth. The woman in the shower outside suffered the same injury. The scene was horrific. In no time at all, the entire bathtub is soaked in blood. A security guard was in a panic to avoid something. At that moment, the mirror in front of him suddenly breaks. The man is so desperate that he keeps begging the mirror to spare him. At that moment, a piece of the mirror fell down and he picked it up. The next moment, the man in the mirror cuts his own neck. The man outside is forced to face God's judgment. He used to be a policeman in the police station, but he accidentally killed a fellow officer and resigned. In order to pick himself up, Ben applies for a job as a security guard at a shopping mall. The staff took him into the burnout mall. He soon realized that there was something strange around him. Only one mirror was unusually clean and out of place. The staff hid the fact that the mirror was killing people. When Ben came to work at night, something strange happened. A palm print appeared on the mirror, and he couldn't get it off. The horror was that the palm print was still growing. Before he could figure out what happened, the door suddenly closed. When he opened the door, there was a ladder inside. He walked in cautiously. He found a flooded basement. It was a bit weird, but he made it through safely. The next day, Ben, who was washing up, looked up and was startled. He calmed down and observed that the mirror was back to its original state. Ben thought he was mistaken and didn't care. It's nighttime again and came to work in his uniform, just like yesterday. Suddenly, the fire in the mirror surrounded him. He was lying on the ground, struggling in pain, but in reality, there was no fire on his body. After getting dressed, he found a wallet. It belonged to the last security guard who was killed by the mirror, and a written note that looked like a name. On his third day on the job, out of nowhere, there were screams. Then followed the sound to the second floor. He saw a room with arms outstretched for help, but when he walked past, there was nothing. He moved the mirror and saw a man lying on the floor. His whole body was burned red. Ben was terrified and ran away from the place. The next day, he told his sister. His sister only thinks that his stress caused it. When he got home, he received a delivery. The person who sent it was the dead former security guard of the shopping mall. They never met, so why would he get a delivery from him? The courier is some old newspapers about the arsonist at the mall. Ben felt uneasy and asked the daytime staff about it. He didn't get any leads. He came to the hospital to find out how the last night guard died. When Ben tried to get a closer look, Ben saw something horrible in the mirror of the morgue. The doctor was shocked by him. Then, the doctor brought in the guard's death file. He found an anomaly. The man in the mirror was holding glass shards, but in reality, there was nothing in his hand. Combined with the strange events he encountered recently, Ben deduced that there was something wrong with the mirror. On the other hand, Ben's sister was getting ready to take a shower, and something horrible happened. Ben was devastated when he learned of his sister's death. He went to the shopping center, grabbed a bench and smashed the mirror, but the mirror was unharmed. He pulls out a pistol and fires it indiscriminately. It left bullet holes, but the mirror recovered quickly. He fell to the ground in despair and asked the mirror what it wanted. At that moment, a word appears on the mirror. Ben sees that it is the name on the note in his wallet. When he got home, he contacted his friends. He couldn't find the name on the mirror, but he did find the suspect in the mall fire. All that was left was the video of the interrogation. Even so, he was able to get information from it. It turns out that the mirror asked him to look for someone called Anna. He couldn't find her, so he set the mirror on fire. At night, Ben went to the basement of the shopping center and made a discovery. In the basement, there's a closed chamber, a chair in the center, surrounded by mirrors. What it was for, he still didn't know. Luckily, his friend found Anna's file. The shopping center was a mental hospital. Anna was a patient. It happened 50 years ago. The nurses noticed that the patients left their rooms and started killing each other. Almost all the patients died. As a result, the asylum closed under pressure. Ben found Anna's address through the data and confirmed that this is the person the mirror is looking for. On the other side, the wife pushes open the door and finds something bizarre. Her son got up and left, but the man in the mirror didn't move. She was terrified and rushed to call Ben. When she got the news, Ben rushed home immediately. Then he painted over all the reflections. He said goodbye to his wife. He found Anna's house at the address on file. Thankfully, after all these years, it was still occupied. He found out from her family Anna had a demon inside her. In order to restore her health, they tied Anna up in a secret room. Through treatment, the demon was trapped in a mirror. Then the family sent her to live in a convent. Ben came to the convent and met Anna there. She told Ben that the demon wanted to get out, so she came to her. Ben doesn't want his family to get hurt and asks her to go out and help. Anna turns him down when she learns what he's trying to do. Meanwhile, strange things are happening in Ben's house again. Water is everywhere on the floor and her son is suddenly dragged down. Looking down at her son, the mother anxiously laps at the water. Ben soon learns of the situation. In order to save his son, he has no choice but to take the risk. He took Anna into the mirror room. When the demons saw Anna's return, they started to get restless. There was a violent explosion. The demon managed to break the seal and escape. The demon kept its promise and spared Ben's son. But Ben wasn't going to let the demon go. He fired his gun. This enraged the demon. After a struggle, Ben found an opportunity to pin the demon to the wall. Then he shot the gas line. The demon is instantly covered in flames and returns to hell. But Ben was also buried by the collapsed building. After a long time, he finally crawled out of the rubble. When he stepped out of the mall, he noticed something strange. None of the rescuers passing by could see him. The writing on the car was reversed. He went to a glass and pressed his hand against it. A handprint appeared on the outside of the glass. He realizes he's trapped in a mirror world. The director uses a lot of creativity, and the setting fits the religion, but it doesn't say anything deeper. It feels like it's missing something. So, let's see you next time.